The theme of constant communication that is entering into mythical union continues to warm the twin flames community. It is normal that in the initial phase, we mostly think about when we will be together and how to speed up the process. It makes some people think that if there is such a thing as the law of attraction, why not manifest union? I am often asked what I can do to improve our connection. In my opinion, this is a question close to what I can do to move closer to union. How do I survive the separation because I'm already full and drinking cream? Unfortunately, in my opinion, this approach is wrong, and sooner or later a sad disappointment awaits the one who does so. First of all, when you start thinking about what can I do to get this, you are taking responsibility for the entire relationship. This is nothing less than an attempt at control, and relinquishing control is, after all, one of the greatest goals of the twin flame. By thinking this, you are not only taking on your own burden, but also your twin's, and perhaps even taking responsibility for him while he has to take responsibility for himself. Keep in mind that he or she may be in a very different place than you are. Even if there are feelings and even sincere love, such a person may not want to face it at all. Do you think you'll make yourself or him or her happy with a union, and that will solve all your problems? That's only what you think. Often at this stage, the free will of the twins is ignored, and their own desires come to the fore. The result, as a rule, turns out to be quite different from what we expected. Instead of a happy twin falling into our arms, we meet a person full of distance and even aggression. At any given moment, we show who we really are, and it is who we are that comes to us first. Can you say today that you know yourself, your twin, and your connection so well that you know exactly what is coming to you? Do you think that there are things that you may not know because you are simply not ready for that knowledge? After all, when you begin to manifest, you have to realize that the effects are likely to surprise you. Why does it come in completely different from what I wanted? You are manifesting as you are right now, even if you are completely unaware of it. If you don't feel something yourself, if you have some complexes and personal conflict, the universe will respond in the same way, because this is the strongest signal it receives from you. Sometimes we think more of ourselves than we really are. When we look at our twin, we think, he has problems, but that's not me. Some people think they are far above their unconscious twin. They ignore the fact that it's not about knowing words and terms. It's about what we are actually vibrating. The fact that someone knows about their twin flame does not mean that they are sending that message to the universe for the union to actually manifest. We feel like we are already out there somewhere because we know it. But mere knowledge and repetition of phrases is not enough, because for proper manifestation, we need to feel to get rid of barriers, but also to understand what is really happening. Therefore, before starting to manifest, one must first engage in insight, but not in your doppelganger, but in yourself. Do you really know who you are, what you want? Do you understand your feelings? Are you sure you are aware of your limitations? and what you can really achieve? Do you know that you can potentially achieve much more than you realize? Do you deserve it? The twin flame process is a constant epiphany, and this is where it is often not sweet, but rather the opposite. The problem is that we need to reach a certain level of maturity before we start playing with manifestation. Know how to take responsibility for your dark side. Keep in mind that we will definitely have to face our shadow on the path to union. If you manifest it, you say, "Okay, I am ready, give it to me." And don't be surprised that the process will accelerate, and then you will see the shadow, the thing you fear the most, because without it, there is no union. Instead of showing the union, it's worth wondering if we're masking something we don't really want to see. Naturally, we want things to be good, but the union in itself does not mean that everything will be good. But if something is not happening at the moment, there are clearly reasons for it. One very important element of the twin flame process is acceptance. It is difficult to accept that we are not at all where we would like to be, but perhaps that is where our greatest blessing lies. Union doesn't need to manifest. Twin doesn't need to manifest. It shows up in our lives according to a predetermined plan. Sometimes he shows up and comes from the other hemisphere of the planet, even when, paradoxically, everything separates us. We would never guess the existence of such a person, and yet, we've never thought of her before, and yet, this proves that the law of attraction is strongest for twin flames. The only thing you need to do in this case is to express your willingness, use your free will, and open yourself to the union. Gradually, you will be led there, and it will happen no matter what, with one caveat: